like it a lot.
I'm definitely gonna have to get your guys'
Here
opinion on
it
that one.
goes. Preparing your meeting, setting a meeting for YouTube Live. We're back. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. I'm going to blank that. I'm going to pop out the chat. There it is.
Why isn't it showing up?
Back to my Zoom.
Where is it?
And my chat. There it is. DS is going to be joining us. Welcome back, everybody. Tonight, hello, Mr. Alex Lopez. Thank you. Well, welcome. Tonight we don't really have a general consensus topic. Just for the most part, talking about our power strokes and everything that we do to them. Obviously, that's why we're here. I know last week we actually built a 22 on the show. That was pretty cool. I just noticed on Facebook, I think somebody took a picture of their 22 that had just came in, so they're finally rolling out there. I haven't even seen one yet. I mean, just obviously on the internets, but I don't know, Matt. Have you even seen any?
No.
Nothing.
No, I did see the release that Ford said they might just start shipping vehicles to dealers that are participating just to have things on the lot and then have us put modules in them. I don't know if you guys got that.
Not that I'm aware of.
We've just been getting Broncos in, and man, do those things look good.
Like the big ones?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I sat in one at work and I was like, oh my God, I need this.
Dude, the thing is with me at my height, the front seats, the front row, it's okay with the top down. My head doesn't stick out. If I sit in the back row, I can like literally look over the pillars. But it's not a big deal if the roof's up.
I haven't really seen a big one yet. Just
dude, how do I get
with
the
the M tag on it?
How do I get the cool thing like Cody has? Why is his name Blue and he has a wrench?
I don't know.
How'd you do that?
I'm skilled.
A fixer. Oh, DS, he's popped up. What's up?
What up?
Got the Milwaukee lights. Ooh, nice backdrop. Got the truck, got the trailer.
Oh, wait. Dude, you can pop the chat out?
Yeah, I didn't know that in like the first one. You can make it just by itself.
Oh, dude. Nice. Now I don't have to be distracted anymore. This is cool.
Do we need to?
So what are we talking about?
Nothing in detail so far. I do want to say for everybody out there, I just put in a new order of shirts. I have a few backwards. I have a few of these colors left: red with black writing, black with white writing, only XL, and they're Gildan. They're nice ones. Only XL, no schmediums. But yeah, those are going to be coming soon. Everybody's got to get on the Kill Switch bandwagon. Please visit me at killswitchmeptt@gmail.com. We need to save those trucks out there, especially in these southern states. Been pretty crazy hearing about what's going on. So,
hold on. Nathan Buckwald's having a problem. So that's not a good thing.
That's not having a bad day.
What problem is he having?
I don't know. We're going to find out here in a minute. All right, back to our scheduled programming.
22's coming in. Yes. The last video that we put up last week, Friday, had a lot of good responses to that. Actually, let me pull that up, and I want to see there were some really good comments regarding stuff that other people had found. So 4 days ago, the watch time is incredible. You guys really were listening to the story. I think storytelling really worked out well, trying to get my message across and talk about the problem that we're having with these EGR coking up issues in the lower intake manifold, and it took this long for me to ever have had a problem with that, and I learned. I'll never forget. And I will definitely be double checking those ports. Some guy actually, what was it, an email? He said that they refer to it in his shop as the lighthouse because it protrudes out of the lower intake manifold and kind of looks like a lighthouse if you were to picture it in your head. And the three ports would be like the three windows. I'm like, oh, no way. Okay, that's kind of. I mean, if I knew that it was in there, I guess I would have connected the dots. But it was still good to know, good to talk about, good to share.
Dude, I should have taken a picture of the long block I finished up today because, certain ones you have to swap the throttle body over to the new intake. And I looked in there and it was just a death mushroom. It's like, son of a gun. What
Wow.
are the odds?
I should do I should look at mine, at 14,000 miles. What I got now is got 14 and some change. See what mine looks like. Go see what DS's looks like.
That would be a very good comparison.
Go see my buddy from Ohio. You guys have seen me do a couple of videos on his 2020 OCR video. My buddy's Tremor. See what his looks like, and have like a 4 or 5 trucks that you can easily just pop the CAC tube off. Look in there with a a good flashlight. And speaking of looking down into places like that, my coworker has a pretty fancy Bluetooth borescope, and it is super tiny. I'm talking like the cord is like this, and the picture quality, I was pretty freaking impressed.
Can you get it down through a glow plug hole?
Could you? That's a good question.
Because I think someone makes something like that.
Good question. No, I think it did.
You're gonna make some dough off of that. I'd buy one.
Good tool. I would.
So thinking about this coking up of the EGR, what implications does that have? Lower performance? Or?
Well, it's just. I mean, Matt knows as well as I, Cody. We know if we have any restriction. Obviously, this truck came in. You're going to have a malfunction indicator light on. You're going to be in reduced power because of whatever type of failure you had, and I'm almost certain you'll be noticing a power loss. So coupled with the check engine light and everything, it's, well, what code do you have? It's going to be pointing in a direction of whether it's going to be an emissions component or, a hard part that's, failed. But unfortunately, there's really no way to stop it unless we're constantly, burning good diesel fuels.
The only way to prolong the service life is just don't idle your truck, which is hard for a lot of people. I mean, I've said this before, we have a telecommunications service company that idles their trucks all day long, and we do a cooler on a truck at least once a year.
I wonder, so this guy had commented, I'll have to go back in the comments, but he was talking about using a BG, it was on Facebook, a BG flush kit. Any of you guys listening out there, any technicians or anything, I'm curious to know if any of you guys are using flush type solvents to clean out the EGR system, to clean out the intake manifold. I know there was an induction service that, we used to do, probably, between 2000 and 2010, we'd always have two cans, and one was for the fuel system, one was for the intake system, and never really did it for the diesels. But now that we have all this stuff, on these diesels that are coking up, it's like,
Not recommended by Ford Motor
I
Company.
was gonna say
Right?
Cody could give us the TSB. Is it not recommended because it's not
Damaged.
recommended, or they want a piece of the pie?
I don't know. It says
Superheat the
it's-
cat
I
or
don't
something,
know.
maybe?
It says it damages the DPF SCR. So
Which those are very fragile and finicky anyway. So
yeah, not worth doing it in my opinion. But
nope. If you want to roll the dice, go for it. I'm not telling you to.
I could get the SSM. I believe it's an SSM.
It's an old one, but I think they keep re-updating it because they just updated an old SSM not that long ago.
They just redid the fuel system one.
Yeah, the
too.
fuel system one.
I agree with Christopher Collins. I do not use a cleaner for your diesel.
If you want to run fuel additives to add lubricity to your fuel system and protect it, sure. Don't use anything that's alcohol based because all that does is emulsify and disperse water and lets it go through your system easier.
So
SSM 49065. Effective 11/2020. August 11, 2020.
I mean, it even says it in like the workshop manual.
true.
For a lot of our diagnosing is like one of the first steps is inspect for use of unapproved cleaners, sealers, this, that, the other. So
Hmm.
I
Not
wouldn't-
recommended.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. It's kind of like those engine. You guys remember seeing engine flushes out there?
Mm-hmm.
Like it would get all the gunk out of your engine, but really it would just murder it.
I don't think that's what you're going to want to do in our duties.
No.
Speaking of fuel and the big thing, with our fuel systems on these trucks is two big things. Two big companies, I guess I should say, are in the diesel community, S&S and HSM. If you guys remember, a couple of live streams ago, we had the S&S Gen 2 disaster prevention kit on, and I'm excited. This weekend we're going to be installing it on one of my customers' 21 Tremors. He is got a few other things coming, and the other company, HSM, we talked about it actually the last live stream, has two kits available now for the upper fuel filter conversion, I guess you want to say, to that Baldwin spin-on filter, and the, I guess, remote mounted lower fuel filter housing with the cat spin-on filter. Going to be excited. That should be showing up soon. I really want to see if what you guys think about that, what it looks like on the truck. Is it going to be functional for your setup? Is it going to be something you're going to want to add to your Super Duty? I think once we get that on the vehicle and we have it tangible in front of us and can report back on it, I think you guys are really going to like the way it looks, especially because I'm about OE look, fit, and finish, and that's what I'm going for. So they have some good products out there that I think are going to be a little more suited for individuals that are not wanting to get the OEM. I just don't want to get the OEM. I remember when I did the the cold side charge air cooler duct on the 17, where it had the rip in it. Guys were kind of, well, how come you didn't put this on? How come you didn't put this on? I'm like, well, one, it was warranty, but there is always that demand out there that people are not going to want to use OEM. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. I think DS is going to dig it. DS has, what is in the, is that your is it the 450 that I see over your right shoulder? Or is it
That's a 250.
Oh, I can't tell. A big addition for DS, what he's pulling a new load with his fleet.
He's got a herd of trucks.
He does. He does actually. Speaking of which, I completely
Wait.
forgot until
Keep that on the low. That's not been announced yet.
I'm just talking about this black box you got over here, and I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
about the flight recorders.
Oh,
This one is under heavy lock and key. And I'm talking, we got 24-hour surveillance, we got LoJack, we got the club, we got the boot, we got 24-hour Apache surveillance, and I'm afraid nobody's going to be getting that trailer from DS.
well, actually, I put a kill switch in it.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Somebody's
Oh.
trying to copy my.
No, we put a PTT kill switch in it.
Oh. Daddy
just-
Diesel, if you want the hands, you can avoid the name. Daddy Diesel, I'm sorry, buddy. Can we talk more about P0402? P0402. Break down exactly what P0402 is. P0402 is going to
Much
be
EGR flow.
is going to be pretty much the same across all manufacturers. And for the 6.7, we're going to have to dive into that. I'm going to say
Cab chassis or pickup?
Do we have the chassis? Do we have a 1FT in the house or a 1FD in the house?
Chab and Cassie.
Chab and Cassie. It is a fork in the road, which you might have to go this way, and you might have to go this way. I don't know. When I think back to doing the pinpoint tests back in the day, and how well interactive Ford has our publications, man. Actually click on the wire color, pin part number, pictorials. I mean,
You guys use ECAT at your store, don't you?
all the time.
Yeah, we don't have it. So when it comes to a harness, I'm just like, I guess I'll go piss in
How
the
are you
wind over
not-
here.
How are you not using ECAT?
Dude, I don't know. Don't ask me. Our FSC
Hold
was
on.
our FSC was literally mind blown that we don't
Pull-
use ECAT.
Pull up your workshop manual.
No, I know, but we literally don't have ECAT subscriptions.
I know, but you should have it right there in the workshop manual.
Dude, I get that. I can't use it.
What do you mean you can't use it? If you click on it, it doesn't go nothing?
No, it says your login is invalid.
What?
What?
That sucks. ECAT's awesome.
No, seriously, like ECAT is a
Jab
subscription
at Cassie.
that you have to use. And my dealer's like, nope, we're using Snap-on for all of our parts catalog.
Wow.
So we've been protesting. And we're not even the parts guys.
Wow. Yeah, ECAT is definitely the way to go. For those of you that do not know what we're talking about, ECAT, electronic catalog, it is Ford's parts catalog. And it's freaking awesome. It has been getting way better. Looking at, I guess it's not that big of a deal to show it. It's just ECAT, right? Pretty sweet. Let me see if I can fold up.
Or do you have a bad air filter?
Maybe he's not getting the flow.
Or the MAF is biased. Or the map is covered in carbon.
Maybe he needs O2 sensors.
That's a good stop.
You mean
stop.
knock sensors?
No, I mean, AutoZone said he needs O2 sensors.
Can you guys please stop going there and being like,
Bookmarks.
see, this is what it says. I want you to replace that. And then when it doesn't fix it, you can't get mad. Okay.
What does it say?
Stop bringing your stuff. You know, the people that go to AutoZone.
No, I'm saying did the ECAT say something?
What? Who's ECAT?
Oh, I thought you were talking what your login said.
No, I'm just talking about people that go to AutoZone, get a code scanned, or the guys that have their own scanners, look it up on the internet, and someone else says this, so they're like, replace it. And then when it doesn't fix it, they don't want to pay for it, or they don't want to pay Diag for you to diagnose it. And
I know. Let's pull up a 2020.
Are guys taking their diesels to AutoZone?
oh, dude,
Get in
Oh
the
my
zone.
all the
man.
time.
get out
I
of
mean,
the
you can-
zone.
Turbo
might-
diesel.
You might be able to get away with a gas power
Turbo
vehicle, but
diesel.
I don't know.
You can't get away with that stuff.
All right, I'm gonna screen share so you guys can check this out because it's pretty
Reason
cool
being,
to see.
I'm going to give you my number one reason you should never go to AutoZone or anywhere and have them scan a code, right? So GM's Ecotech engine, right? It's like a 1.4 liter. They put it in the cruises, this, that, the other. And when I was working at our quick lane store, I worked on a ton of them. And there's like a little, just like it was for crankcase ventilation. It had
Mhm.
like a one-way valve in the valve cover. That's how they did their crankcase ventilation. Well, if that thing gets stuck open, it starts sucking air in, it starts running super lean. So it sets a bunch of lean code, this, that, the other, runs very poor, makes a whistling noise. Yeah, dude, I don't even know what this stuff looks like.
Wow, yeah. So here we got two turbos. We got Jab at Cassie, and we got a pickup.
Okay, so long story short, buddy goes to AutoZone, has him scan it. They try to sell him O2 sensors, this, that, the other. And I look at him like, dude,
Wow.
no, it's your valve cover that's just sucking air in.
Yeah, you know, you gotta
But
have
then-
some.
pictures.
You know,
Gotta have
they're
some
like,
diet.
we certify this. Okay,
Oh,
so
really? Wow.
our parts diagrams look similar to this. They're actually the exact same diagrams. But
Even with the part numbers and like that too.
yeah, so it's got the square, the triangle, and the circle. To like
Okay,
right, like all the stuff in your circle is your 9514 gasket kit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like it'll show us all that stuff, but it's the names that it has for stuff is hilarious.
Well, I guess Matt, the point that people don't get is the scan tool doesn't necessarily tell you exactly what's wrong. It's just
Well, yeah, the scan tool doesn't know, so you have to like. It's kind of something.
if everything's
gas.
saying if
The-
everything's saying you're lean, what's more likely? You got a vacuum leak or every sensor
Or do you
needs
have
to be
a
replaced?
do you have it's
They're
like
like,
come on,
what?
come on.
You don't
I
hear
guess
the
that's
hissing?
that's kind of a lesson you could say, and you know, Aaron and Cody and Sean would agree. The hardest part of our job is deciding, is this a symptom or is this the cause?
I can dig it.
Like, is this doing this because this is what's actually making it happen, or is this just a symptom of something else?
Yeah.
Yes, no.
It's somewhat rare that it's just, oh, I scanned it. That was it. It was that simple.
Dang, dude, I don't know how you get enough buildup on a 6.7 EGR valve that thing won't shut.
That's pretty crazy.
It can
Because-
happen.
But that's got like reduction gears and everything to keep that from happening.
Why do they stick right out of the box on the
that
metal
a-
ones?
Is that a question someone's asking?
You
Or
mean
you're
no?
asking me?
The
I'm
cast
asking
iron
you.
ones.
I don't know, because it's cast iron.
I've replaced.
Dude, that's what I want to know. Why is a pickup in aluminum housing, but a cabin chassis is cast iron? That never made sense.
Do you
to
think
me.
the temps would be different?
I
That it
would
would need a
ass-
different metal?
I would assume that they needed something stronger for the chassis trucks because they're going to be worked harder. That would be my assumption.
The cast?
Oh no, they probably did it for wear. You're right.
You mean
But there's
For wear?
there's a bushing for the valve in there to ride against.
It's
On
probably
both?
just heat.
There's a bushing on both.
Well, yeah, I mean, like your like a EGR valve on your truck. I haven't really looked at a 20 or a 21. Did they change them all to cast? Iron?
They're still, I
they're
think they're
still-
still aluminum and
Okay.
cast
Yeah,
iron.
yeah, I think they are.
Well, it's like, okay, you know,
Well,
you're
no, that's a
working on
good
this.
question.
I really want to know why they did that. And all it's like Cody said, the only thing I can think is longevity and wear, but it's like if it's in a sleeve, you know.
Right. Can the iron take more heat? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I hate it because
water cool.
instead of having to deal with 2 titanium bolts going into a cast iron part, now I have to deal with 4 of them and trying not to snap all 4 of them anytime I need to service something over there.
You're saying aluminum one has 4?
Well, if it's the aluminum valve, the bolts that they use for the EGR inlet tube that goes from the exhaust manifold to the EGR valve, right? Those it's like a titanium nitride bolt. It's a stupid, super hard bolt that corrodes and gets stuck and swells, and it really doesn't like cast iron. Like these are the infamous, EGR tube bolts that people snap off on
Oh, okay.
in the exhaust manifold.
Oh, Brandon Powerstroke says aluminum dissipates heat faster. That's a good point. Would they need the heat? I mean, you think EGR is going to be flowing, they're going to want to dissipate the same amount of heat.
Maybe it's cost.
Thermal
You know what I mean?
expansion?
Dude, that's the thing is I've thought about it in my head. Okay, is it this? Is it that? No. Is it this, that? No. Is it this, that? And I can't come up with a good reason.
It's probably cost because you got to think this cabin chassis.
Could they
What
make
do you
those
say?
cheaper?
What are you saying? Stab and chassis?
Hold on. Can you see the price difference on the valves, Aaron, through ECAP?
No, it doesn't give me any of that. That's all blocked out.
I think
So
the best way to check would be to go on. We're gonna
So
go on
the-
Rock.
the
We're gonna go
stabbing-
on Rock Auto right
the
now.
stab and
Give me a
cast
second. Go to my ECAT.
The stab and chassis probably has.
I want to know which one costs more.
They probably
Give me
have
a
a
second.
ton of parts that are cheaper. I mean, I know the turbo's cheaper, or it's less power. Turbo makes less power. The engine makes less power.
It's
Maybe
detuned.
Yeah, it's detuned. Maybe it's just made to be more economical overall. Because the cabin chassis is a cheaper truck.
No,
The whole cab. It's the cabin chassis thing is reliability over numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have any of you guys ran a 10R? So 21 VO3, right? That's the recall.
customer satisfaction program. We just did one today.
I have done I've done the only one that our store's done so far.
Was it a 4x4?
Yeah, but that was just removing the transmission. I didn't do the
Actual recall or
I
the
didn't do
actual
the gear set.
procedure?
Yeah, one of my trans guys did it and he did it pretty quick. And I didn't like the new trans fluid fill procedure. but
Yeah.
I'm sure once we start doing them more, I'll be okay with it.
Yeah, it was.
So pickup truck wide frame is 227.27.
Okay.
You ready for this? Narrow frame cabin chassis retail is 347.27.
So it's more money.
Yeah.
It's got to be strength. That's got to be the reason, in my opinion.
But like the thing is, you don't need I guess.
But we're talking about the EGR.
I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I should go grab my engineer's black book and see why you would use aluminum over cast iron for something like that.
Is it under
Vice
more?
versa.
Is it under more stress in a cabin chassis configuration? Why is it under more stress?
You could. It's like Cody's or Aaron's, which I can't remember which one you two said it. It's just there's probably more cycle rates out of a cast iron or a cabin chassis truck, especially if it's going to sit there and idle a lot. So that thing's just going to going nuts the entire time.
True.
Or maybe it holds up to heat better when it's closed. Is that it?
I
Mm,
wonder
either
why
way,
not
I hate
just
'em.
go. Why not just go cast iron all the way? But you rather
Mr.
be
Big
aluminum anyway.
PP. You got me. He got me. Okay, Mr. Big. We're just gonna call you opinion on plastic oil pans.
That's a tough.
In the
I don't
sense
know, man.
of for an engine or oil pan, anytime I have a customer come in with an 11 or an early 12 build and they have an oil leak, and whether it's a upper pan or a lower pan, anything that requires me to take the lower pan off, I replace it with a metal one.
You're done.
I can't stand the plastic pans. They just leak.
Those rocket plugs.
Yeah,
Dude,
for real.
stand back.
So, oh, mine's metal, I thought.
Yeah, this is the early trucks,
So they updated it.
like in 11, 12.
Yeah.
How many, or maybe I don't know how many of those guys out there. Well, yeah, I guess how many of you guys out there have had the safety compliance recall 21S26 for the GVW stickers? Have you had to do any of those, Matt? Call the special support center and get the recert labels?
No.
I just had to do one. This will be my second one. We just had to order them. GVW on the pickup. That's what just made me think about it. This guy says, Toyota one. Man, you got the wrong name, bruh.
Dude, what's wrong with a Yoda? It's probably going to outlast any of our trucks.
Have a 17 F350. Just recently, the service charging system light warning comes on. Checked voltage is charging, then all? Then all what? Oh, then all the warning lights come on and go off in a matter of seconds. Well,
Intermittent wiring.
yep. I have a section on my channel that has playlists, and in that playlist, you will see battery lights. And I would invite you to reference those, because there are some good tidbits in there where exactly I found these. They're in various spots, but it'll give you, a little a map, I guess you should say, of where to actually look at, because they're kind of a pain in the butt. Got to clip all the zip ties.
Dude.
That's funny.
You want to tell stories? Let's do story time.
Sounds good, man.
I want to hear about that new trailer he's got behind him.
Well, I want to hear the funniest service write-ups you've seen. Because I've got
my
two.
wife just made a brand new batch of chocolate chip cookies, and I'm gonna be right back.
Because like they're the best service write-up I've ever seen. This was a year ago. Was customer states filled DEF tank with hand sanitizer. Advise.
That's a problem, man.
Like
okay. What's gonna happen when
so I call up the customer. I call them up and I'm like, because with our commercial customers, we know most of them.
Oh, somebody.
So I call him up.
Yeah.
I call him up and I'm laughing. And he already knows. He goes, dude, I already know what you're gonna ask. He's like, I already know. So the way this happened is he's like, because of COVID and everything, we have to have hand sanitizer now. And I'm like, right. He goes, we have a 55-gallon drum of DEF, and we have a 55-gallon drum of hand sanitizer that we got from the distillery down the road.
What are you doing with a 55-gallon drum of hand sanitizer?
And they're right next to each other. And
yeah, but come on.
Driver filled up his DEF jug with hand sanitizer, and I'm like,
but hand sanitizer.
Dude, I am laughing so hard at this, and I'm like, you guys are kidding. This did not happen. So I walked over to the freaking filler and unscrewed that thing, and dude, Purell, it just smelled like hand sanitizer.
But how fast did it run out? Like what was it?
We literally just flushed it.
Was it like water? Because
yeah. No, it was just like water. It wasn't like Purell that's got like the whatever in it.
There was no gel to the. Okay.
No, that was probably the best write-up I've ever seen. But the thing that always makes me laugh, and I swear my advisors do this to me on purpose, and it'll be like customer states, instead of saying customer states engine has a long crank, every time. Be like, oh, what is? Oh, it's check engine light drivability issue. I'm like, okay, and I read it. It says customer has a long crank, and I just have such a childish mind that I can never keep it together. Customer's got a long crank. I'm like, well, good for that guy. Hope his wife can handle it.
It only goes.
Ugh. You guys got any good ones? Come on. I know you've got to have some hilarious write-ups you've seen.
Oh. I don't know.
You never got one that was from like some good old boy out in the trees that said like customer states went boom, 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 slam, slam, slam. And it's like, dude, that's the best you got for me.
No, I'm trying to hold on. I remember I saw this message board. Did I throw that out or was that in an email? This was on the old message boards, and it was somebody's write-up of a runaway. Have you ever read that?
Oh, the runaway.
Have you ever read that story? Some dude's like masterpiece in the shop.
Oh, it's awesome. Here,
how could we find that?
I'll pull it up.
I wouldn't even begin to know. I remember printing it out, and I think I have it in.
Because I think I sent it back to you, didn't I?
Oh, shoot. I don't know.
It's literally just called The Runaway.
I wouldn't even. I don't know how to log into the message boards since they got the new stuff.
FMC dealer community. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but don't you got to log in and whatnot?
Yeah. I mean, you just have to make a.
So best one I had was on a Roush Stage 3 Mustang. Customer states the brakes smoked after a hard stop. And I couldn't get it to make it smoke, so I had the customer drive it, and I about died. Because he literally launched the car, got up to about 100, then slammed on the brakes. And said, it's smoking. I said, well, no crap, it's smoking. You just went zero. You just went to 100 to 0 in like 10, like a few seconds. Like, what the hell do you expect is going to happen?
I don't know, man. It shouldn't smoke, right?
Yeah, okay. Those rotors were smoking hot.
Something else is wrong too, though, right? I never had brake smoking.
You know what I don't hear right now at all?
What?
Is DS's squeaky wheel.
No.
Because I'm outside.
All right.
I know.
Aaron, you want me to read The Runaway to you? You want a little bedtime story?
Where did you find it?
I just typed in The Runaway. It came up.
Get out of here. Yeah.
Okay. Diesel runaway is when the engine RPMs go up uncontrolled and there is no way the engine can stop itself. Diesel engines don't actually require any controls on them to run. All they need is fuel and air. Gas engines need a spark at just the right time and a fuel pulse of just the right duration to run. Also, diesels can run on a wide range of fuel. Remember when all of us diesel guys were complaining about leaky injectors on 03s that were filling up the crankcase with fuel? Well, 30 plus quarts of oil fuel mix in the crankcase will submerge the crank. One of the last steps on the diesel diag sheet is an oil aeration test where you have to run the engine at wide open throttle, which is like 3,500 RPM or so for 3 minutes, and then view the oil condition. That crank whipping up the fuel oil will make a foam that rises through the engine and eventually starts getting drafted into the intake stream. There's enough coming into the intake, the engine RPM will rise to even higher. Of course, this causes the oil to whip more, which makes it rise faster in the engine. Vicious cycle. You cut the key off, but the engine doesn't care. It's getting its own fuel from another source. Smoke starts to pour from the tailpipe, and the truck starts to vibrate. So smoke starts to pour from the tailpipe, and the truck starts to vibrate. At about 6,000 RPM, the ground starts to shake throughout the shop, and the sales department looks out the side to see if a thunderstorm is coming. 75 RPM has the shop evacuating. By this time, the whole shop is flooded with smoke. 9,000 RPM brings ominous noises from the shop, a cyclic wave of sound that feels like an invisible hand pressing on your chest. Somewhere at about 10,000 RPM, the engine gives up. A sound that is a combination of a nearby lightning strike and every toolbox in the shop turning over at once when they explode in the shop. The sound echoes and continues for several seconds. You can actually see through. Hold on. Oh, no. I read this wrong. Okay. The sound echoes and continues for several seconds. You can actually feel a shockwave disperse through the concrete you're standing on, and then the deafening silence. You try to see the smoke and locate the truck, but something's wrong. It's sitting at an angle, tilted down in the front, and then you see why. Both front tires are blown out. There's a scattering of parts, 3 bays in each direction. A puddle of fluid is rapidly spreading from under the shredded front cap. The hood and fenders are destroyed, but ironically, the grille and headlights are still intact. And your first thought is, at least I don't have to work on this anymore. And that, my friend Bernie, is a diesel runaway.
That is a diesel runaway.
I remember the first time I read that, I was just dying laughing.
When they start to run away, you just walk away because
walk away.
You're not saving it.
I'm not putting my hand near that turbo with a piece of wood. Sorry.
Nope. You're not saving it. If your thing runs away,
bye.
You got insurance or warranty.
Let that thing burn down.
The air cleaner and everything's on it. So, I mean, it's not like you could just put a piece of metal over the intake real quick.
Go ask Bill.
Hey, I don't get it. You call, you email, you comment, you social, you leave a message.
Will a CCV reroute blow out turbo seals? No, as long as it doesn't get restricted.
I got an interesting auto-related story. I used to work on cars. I used to do like mobile mechanic, but I thought I was the best. I thought I was this great mechanic. I wasn't.
Is this your Honda story?
No. What happened is I was a cook, but I wanted to work on cars. I was state certified.
You were a cook?
Yeah, I was a cook way back when.
Sean's done it all. I don't know if you've noticed this or not.
Right out of high school, I was a cook for about 3 years. But what happened is I got fired because I was sitting there outside with one of the family members it was a family company, Italian kitchen. And I was sitting outside in his car. We were talking. He had a Jeep, doors were off. My feet were up. And his uncle comes in and goes, "What the F are you doing? You sitting out here on the clock, sitting down on the clock? Get the F back in there and get to work." I was like, "I'm sorry, I was just sitting down with Chris." And he was like, "You'll never be as good as Chris. Get your butt back." We didn't say butt, but I got reamed out pretty bad. And at the time, guys, I was sensitive, guys. I couldn't take it. My heart was broken. But I really looked up to this guy. I really looked up to him. And he had yelled at me. And I went back to work, and he just the dude acted like nothing happened. So I worked one more day. I was kind of looking at him like, is he gonna apologize for yelling at me like that? Well, he never did. He just, hey Sean, what's up? Like nothing ever happened. So I didn't go back. I didn't go back to work, but I put in applications. Everywhere. This is where the economy. This is when the economy was real bad, and I'm going to dealerships, dealership after dealership. I got my little shirt on, my little button-up shirt, and I got my certs, and I got, I don't know, front end suspension, air condition. What do they call it? It was called HVAC, electrical, transmission, engine rebuild. I had all these certs. No dealership wanted to hire me without experience, and I didn't know nobody. And it was a tough time. Like everybody was looking for a job, and I didn't know how to get a job. I really didn't know how to get a job. I was just going in, dropping an application off, leave, never come back. Well, I would call, and then that was it. I'll follow up one time, and that was it. But finally, I get a call to work at a shop, but it's not a dealership. It's just a POS shop in Detroit by Houston Whittier. This is a rough area, guys. This is where heroin addicts go. This is where crackheads are. Houston Whittier and Gratiot. And it's
where
just,
trailers get stolen.
Oh.
I mean, maybe people get killed like bad. It's a rough area. But I'm working in a shop, and it's this guy. His name is Mo. No offense to anybody, but this was an Arabic guy. Mo. And he's like, hey, you can start. You can be the head mechanic. And I'm like, the head mechanic. I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But he saw the certs, whatever. He had a vehicle hoist and had a tire balancer. He kind of showed me some stuff. And I remember, like, you're the head mechanic. He had this banging girl working in the lobby. She was banging. She had blonde hair, large chest. She had she was banging.
What was her name?
I can't remember her name. I was a 19, 30 now. I don't remember her name. But so I'm the head mechanic, and people are coming in here wanting me to diag their car, and I'm just, dude, I'm not ready for that. I'm like checking this guy's front end, it's tie rods. I'm just like, yeah, you need tie rods, but dude, I can't.
Your brakes shot. You need a new
I don't got a wheel alignment, and dude, I wasn't ready. Dude, I wasn't.
Sean's just yanking out the parts can and just
I'm
all over the place.
I'm sending people down the road. I'm like, yeah, you can go down the road. This is gonna suck.
You're gonna have to take that to Midas, because that's a toughie, bro.
So
trust the Midas.
I worked here. I've been here for a couple days. It's slow.
Couple days, really picking up the confidence.
So I'm slowly building confidence. Yeah. So I go inside of the lobby, and I'm talking to the girl, and this guy Mo pulls me to the side and says, "Hey, you don't go in there and talk to her. You work in the shop, and she works in the lobby. You're not to interact with her at all." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You're not to talk to her. She belongs inside, and you belong outside." So I was like, "What the heck?" So I went outside, whatever, looked at my car. Like, I would work on my own car because I didn't have nothing to do. So I had my car up on the hoist, balance the tires and whatever. And he was in there. He was like all up on this girl. He's like got her under his arm, and he's like breathing down her neck. All of a sudden, this huge Dodge Ram pulls up, lifted and everything with tinted windows and everything. One of the good old boys.
Good old
boy. Swinging in there. The girl runs out, jumps in, and she dips out. She leaves. She ran away. She had to run away.
Damn.
But when I was talking to her, she's like, "Mo's a great guy. I know Mo from when he had the gas station." And blah, 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 blah. Mo creeped her out, and she had to run. So I was like, you know what? He goes, "Well, I'm gonna run to the bank. I'll be right back." And he left for the bank. This is right after she left. And I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. So I packed up my tools. I put my stuff in my trunk, and I dipped out. But my phone was missing. Like he had like a little what do you call it? Like a cabinet, like a glass cabinet with a bunch of knickknacks and stuff in there that he was selling, like old phones and stuff. And I knew he took my phone. I couldn't find my phone. I knew he took my phone. So I went to the Sprint store, and I was like, I'm about to buy a new phone. It's like $100, whatever. But I was like, you know what? Before I buy a phone, I'm gonna call this guy. I called him up. I was like, hey, I'm at Sprint. And they said that they could see the phone sitting right there in your little box.
What does this mean?
And then Sprint, they couldn't tell the phone was there, but he was like, oh, you know what, buddy? The phone is right here. So I had to go back and get my phone. It was terrible. But yeah, that was my first official mechanic job. It was a crazy situation. Oof.
Dude, what's the best that you've like ever busted yourself at work?
You got hurt?
Oh yeah, like you went screaming the other way like a little girl. You got yourself so good.
Well, I got one, but I didn't scream like a girl.
I mean, I wouldn't say I screamed like a girl, but you know,
well, for me,
this was recent too. This was like last week. I'm working on getting this engine out, and I'm sitting there barring this engine over so I can get freaking torque converter nuts off. And I got one hand over here on the track bar. Got my big long 3/8 inch ratchet. That's probably like yay long. sitting there. Thing pops off. Wham! Right in the freaking finger, dude.
Oh,
Dang.
You can see my little hole that I drilled it out with a little 16th-inch drill bit to get all the blood out.
get
of there.
out of here,
You drilled,
gross,
you drilled
dude.
a drill bit?
I don't
Dang,
want to
maybe
hear
you are-
that.
Maybe you are
Dude,
tough.
I
Dude broke his
finally
ankle.
I finally pulled my glove off after like 3 hours, and like the tip of my glove was just full of blood.
Oh,
That one
that's
hurt.
gross.
That one did not feel good.
What did I do at work?
I mean, there was another time where I walked into a guy's hoist and split my head open.
Okay, this is kind of funny. So, I mean, I'm not kind of funny because it really hurt. Uh, so like, you know, gotta take care of business. Gotta go drop the Browns off at the Super Bowl, right? Like literally in mid pulling my pants down, and I throw my back out.
What?
Oh
What?
man, all I wanted to do, and it was so hot that day. So now I'm sweating. I'm sitting on the toilet. I can barely freaking move.
Hold on, you blew
was
your
horrible.
back out on the turlet.
Like I was, you know how like you're about to pull your pants down to actually like sit on the toilet.
And
Like
you
I was like,
you just felt
like, "Oh!"
everything. You felt everything all at once,
it
dude.
was horrible.
That is
Yeah,
the
oh my God.
worst pain. That's
Oh my
why I
God.
almost.
I've never
I don't even
I've
want to
never-
talk about it because I
I've
just only
never
think about
done-
the pain.
I've never
Dude,
thrown
no.
my back out before.
I've had that happen twice, and once was, I don't know, probably a couple months ago when I was doing like back to back engine jobs, and my back just did not want to have it anymore. And I bent over one day and I was stuck.
You guys need some vitamins. You guys need to get out in the sun. You know, you're working on these cars inside.
You
all
guys
day.
need
You
to
can't
get
tell
some
me I
fish
need to
oil.
get on. Look at I got a freaking
Hey,
watch
maybe-
tan.
Maybe take some like cod
Get
liver
out.
oil or something.
What oil?
Some cod liver oil or something.
Cod liver oil.
Something, man.
He likes to eat that rainbow trout.
Brandon, we do that with 2-liter pop bottles underneath our 30
Oh,
our 15K drive on, and it's pretty fun. If someone's not paying attention, they go to set a truck down, big old pop.
I fell off a fire truck, fractured my tibia, destroyed my meniscus, and ruptured my ACL.
Oh my goodness.
I had 2 surgeries and probably getting another one. Been out of work for about a year.
Oh,
God dang, brother. Sorry. Ugh.
yeah, Cody,
Man.
that's where I was gonna go with it if he's not tuned.
I always
about you?
say
What about
if
you,
it's
Cody?
cold if I'm VGT it. Worst. I about took my thumb off with a wire wheel.
Dude,
And
The wire wheel. Oh my goodness, man.
You
on a
ever-
4-inch grinder. Yeah, that thing really freaking feels great.
don't you like when the little wire strands fly off and stick into your arm or your stomach or your pecker or wherever you don't want them to go?
Yeah, that hurts.
I was just a young youth. Probably, I would say this would be 2001. I'm back. I just figured out how to use the torches, and at the time,
Oh no.
we had to
Oh no.
cut the extra pipe off of the cats for some reason, and that's how we would turn them in. Like we had to give them back for warranty, but they just I don't know. That's what we did. So my mentor was like, here, you're gonna do this set, and unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize that a few of the other resident technicians thought it'd be cool to throw a couple of firecrackers at me. Man, you talk about jump. My eyes were big as saucers. It was every time I fire up the torches, I'm like making sure nobody's behind me. But yeah. Nothing to water balloons.
Oh, we missed one from Gilbert. Truck makes a slight grind at startup, like once every few starts. Dealer replaced flywheel twice and still grinds. Guessing starter needs to be replaced in a flywheel again. I'd probably agree.
I'd agree.
I'd agree with you on that one. I would definitely, anytime I have a concern with starter engagement and it's not, it's not internal, or the Bendix isn't throwing out all the way, whatever.
Bendix.
Or the teeth are getting eaten away on the flex plate, I always replace both. Always.
430 gears. Guy called it. And it's in all exclamation points.
Some water.
Aaron, do you prank new guys?
No. I mean, I might tell them, like, we got, the steam bucket, or have to go get your elevator pass. We used to do that a long time ago.
Oh my dude. Oh no, we did that in high school because we had an elevator.
Hey.
And that was just a thing you did your senior year, would see how many kids you could sell elevator passes. No, my favorite thing to do with someone new, or once we're not pranking each other for a while, is anything that comes with bubble wrap. I will always wad up the bubble wrap and throw it behind the right rear wheel.
Oh, I did that.
Dude, that is such a good prank.
I had a huge ball of bubble wrap I've been saving up, and the aluminum F-150s had just started shipping to the dealer. And this kid that I went to school with was PDIing one, so we stopped him at the door. One of the master techs stopped him at the door, and I stuck my huge roll of bubble wrap underneath the back right. God. And when he rolled over that, his eyes got the size of golf balls because he thought he hit something.
That's funny.
Dude, I love bubble wrap just for that.
We put tire weights, sticky tire weights, on a dude's drive shaft.
That's rude.
And put hose clamps around them. Man, this thing wasn't making any noise at lunch.
Dude, I had just bought my Focus, and a couple of guys thought it would be hilarious to throw zip ties on my wheels. They thought I wouldn't notice. It's like, you guys,
zip ties?
So they put zip ties around like the snowflakes, like the spokes of my wheels, and cut them off flush and put them on there super fucking freaking tight. Well, one of them they did, they'll have the little retaining clip, but it's like a big retaining clip on a Focus. They got one around that too. And dude, I got so pissed. One of the guys lost his job from it. The other one was like inches away from getting fired.
Oh, snap.
Because like for me, that wasn't, it's like I literally just bought this car.
And you don't scratch up someone's Focus wheels.
No, you just don't do it. Well, I mean, the guy got fired because
that car's so little, them little zip ties the wheel might not rotate. Just drags.
There was a lot of quality issues with that guy too. So, I think it was more than anything, they were just waiting for it.
The flywheel, Gilbert, I would think the flywheel would only have to be replaced based on your inspection. The only real way to do that is to turn the engine over. Oh, thanks, Mr. Austin, bro. My man. Check him out. What up, 8-Rod and crew? Much love. 999, bruh. Yeah, it'd be the only way to get a mirror, have somebody bar the engine over and look at, all the teeth as you're going around. Or you'd have to pull the trans back out. So that's kind of a
rolling idle.
Oof.
Dude, we had this come in once.
I don't think that'd be a fuel problem.
Dude, the shop could not figure it out. It was literally, the guy said he only noticed it when he was idling and trying to warm his truck up at like 2,500, $3,000. The engine would bog down for a second. And I looked at this guy, I'm like, you have the AC on when you're doing it? He goes, yeah. I'm like, okay, try turning your AC off. And he had spent thousands of dollars at shops trying to figure this out.
Wow.
It was just the clutch kicking on. It doesn't really like it at 3,000 RPM, believe it or not.
Easier and no DPF. I love my 355, but I'm not really towing. Any idea? So it's rolling at idle, surge at idle.
I'll be hauling a 12,000-pound gooseneck. So like your trailer and whatever you're hauling is going to be 12,000 pounds, or this is like the world's biggest gooseneck that weighs 12,000 pounds, or you're going to have your gooseneck with 12,000 pounds on it.
So
We need more information.
Yeah. But you said there's no codes and fuel high side fluctuates. I mean, do you have any drivability concerns? Like if you were to go get in your truck right now and just hammer it, does it just cut power altogether or? Good questions. Lots of questions. Go home, EPA. Not today, EPA. Daddy Diesel's got a tremor?
I feel bad. Daddy Diesel was supposed to come up tomorrow, and Daddy Diesel isn't going to buy me lunch anymore.
Dude, what are we going to do when I'm over on the east side?
I guess he's gonna have to send a super chat to make up for it.
East side! Daddy Diesel.
Dude, you know what I'm waiting for one day? I'm waiting for American Truck Nation just to walk right in our shop and just be like, hey.
Hey, what?
And I'll be like, hay is for horses. But I don't think
Micah. Caleb, do you think that they will change all those sitting 21 model years to a 22 and just change the screens? Probably not.
Yeah, that's unlikely.
Yeah, because that's not just going to be like slap it in and you're good to go. That's
a lot of wiring changing.
That's dash.
No.
Oh, another IP.
That's too much work. No.
I mean the whole wiring's changed. I mean, you've seen that just with the kill switches.
Oh, most definitely.
I mean, it's not
I can't
like
wait
the
to get
body's the same.
my coworker, if he's listening. Yeah, he might be listening. He just ordered a 22 King Ranch.
Wow.
What color is he getting? He's getting antimatter.
Is he getting two-tone or is single color?
No, he's getting single color.
That's rare to see a King Ranch that is in a two-tone truck.
He's excited.
Yes, Brandon got it. No, I stay. I clean.
No, I stay. I clean.
No. Do you guys just quote stupid stuff all the time at work?
Yeah.
And now it's a hat.
This is a lamp, and this is where you turn it on at.
Yeah, dude, we'll just be, the amount of stupid things.
It's good to have humor.
You have to.
Yeah. Do you guys play radios in the shop?
I
always had the loudest.
In the truck shop, because we're just like annexed from the rest of the world and we do whatever we please. Mostly we play music off of whatever, but I have headphones and it's how I deal with my ADHD, which seems very counterintuitive, but it keeps me focused.
What's the point? Hey, Rod.
I'm commenting, sorry. To what?
Why'd you ask that question?
He's just asking. It's banter. Fire Chiefs Association has petitioned the EPA to get an exemption on DPF, and they said no. You guys have no idea how bad that will be when pumping a fire truck stops doing big clog DPF. I thought, okay, Ahmed, you can answer this for us. I thought there were still EPA exemptions on emergency vehicles.
I just talked to a guy today that had a DPF delete on a 6.4 ambulance.
Really?
Yep.
From the factory?
Oh, they added it when they did the upfit for the ambulance.
Oh,
well,
really?
I'm an emergency service.
That's all dealer installed, and it is so much paperwork and so much red tape. So like if I were to put a factory delete kit on it, it has to be, I don't remember if it has to be owned by a municipality or a government vehicle. but everything has to be documented like a stupid amount. And the truck has to be, it can't be sold. It literally has to get scrapped once they're done with it.
Dang.
Which is ridiculous.
Scrapped.
That's utterly ridiculous.
But do you really think that many 6-liter Econo lines that were upfitted as ambulances had emissions on them? No.
A lot of the in-house guys took them off.
I mean, the 6 liters are easy to delete.
Oh, it's like not even a challenge.
2 freeze plugs and you're done.
But we're not going to talk about that kind of stuff here. First rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club.
I don't know what you're talking about. Although,
dude, we had a guy walk into our shop a couple weeks ago asking about this stuff, and
good try, EPA.
Yeah, I literally I was like, not today, EPA. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's got access to tuning? Good try, EPA.
Like, are you talking about like a xylophone?
Yeah, like.
Because I heard Guitar Center, they have some like sweet.
You know what I heard? I heard that you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
Do you know why fish only swim in salt water? Popsicle joke of the day. Because they're allergic to pepper.
Wow.
I know, right?
That was pretty good.
After eating that cold popsicle, man, I'll take any stupid joke.
You know what, guys? Drop your best.
Hey, you got somebody talking to you, pal.
Check your best. Oh, thank you, Mike. Now you can see because I moved my mic.
My car.
That's always been my big issue. That's why I actually switched to this mic versus another mic. But you see, I have my computer right here, and I have my camera right here. But I like to look here because then I can see if Cody's drinking transmission fluid, or if Aaron's stretching, or if Sean's sleeping. So you just kind of got to split between both worlds.
Chris L, good question. I know you could do that in some of the Illuma duties, but I need to get my hands on a 22 first. I've had 2 individuals contact me about kill switches for their 22s that they do not have yet, but the wiring has changed. I need a 22 in my hands. Yeah, I don't think so, bud, but maybe they changed something we don't know about.
Plowing with a platy rig.
Have you ever seen a truck come in with the crew chief package?
I have not even seen one. I've seen it in the wiring diagrams.
Yeah. Me too.
We had a super cruiser come in not that long ago. That was cool. Do you know what a super cruiser is?
A super cruiser?
Oh, you don't know what a super cruiser is?
The heck is that?
That is a medium duty, a 650 or a 750 that's upfitted with like ground appearance and everything.
What?
Oh, yeah. Mandatory webcam location. Dude, I got this giant ring light so you guys can see my complexion. Is that the right word? Complexion.
The silhouette of your face is like a translucent steed.
I don't know. I also like to have it far away because you can't really see that I'm balding and going gray at 27.
Hey.
It happens to the best of us, right?
I wish I had a head of hair. DS. Rockabye Baby. I think Rockabye Baby, yeah, this would be a good time to
end it.
I appreciate you guys so much for watching down there in the comment section. Keep blowing it up. Make sure to like and share this. I want to get you guys get your thoughts on there and tell us what you guys are thinking. Stay tuned. S&S. Stay tuned. HSM. Stay tuned. Keep it locked. Powerstroke stuff going down on the best channel on the tubes. Thanks so much. Tell us what you think in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys